Well, I just wanted to be here to see John Cox, the candidate for California governor, and hear what he has to say.
How about the U.S. representative that's running, Young Kim?
I'm actually not in her district. I'm over the hill, over in Loretta Sanchez's district. Yeah, I know. Yeah, anytime I can get a chance to support any of the Republican candidates, I'm here.
I originally voted for Travis Allen at first. Fortunately he went down. So now I'm voting. Next one is for John Cox.
Do you think he could help California?
Oh yes, he will. With everything that he did promise, it will happen.
Wanted to be a part of something, so I just wanted to come and show my support.
I just wanted to be a part of something, and we need someone like John Cox in the governor's seat. We need a businessman that's going to change everything, bring everything back into balance.
I'm Jim Scannell. I'm from Fullerton, and I'm here to see John Cox's Help Is on the Way bus. And John Cox, obviously.
We are here to support John Cox. And what would we like to say? Vote yes on Prop 6. John Cox is a big supporter, and he wants to help lower taxes and make California great again. Keep the economy great in California because the Democrats are bringing it down. Big companies are leaving. If you want to keep the big companies in California, you got to bring the repubs in and keep them in.
Back in 2014.
Look at the big companies up north. They're going into Reno.
Yeah.
My name is Brian Ka.
What are you here for?
I'm here to support John Cox.
How do you think he's going to help out the state?
Repeal gas tax, that's the first thing. Our tax rate is too expensive. I'm about to move out of this state, so we have to change something to get this state going again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for interviewing.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too, my friend.
Oh, yeah!
Help is on the way. No question about it. Absolutely. Hey, people. Welcome, Warriors. John Cox. John Cox. John Cox. John Cox. John Cox. John Cox.
You have a podium.
We're gonna get this done. Hey, John.
Yes on 6! 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 Yes on 6!
Sorry, pardon me.
Yes on 6! 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 Yes on 6!
Sorry.
Yes on 6! Yes on 6! Yes on 6! Yay!
Do it all again. Okay? In front. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today. On Tuesday, the voters of this state are going to make their voices heard. They want this state to be affordable. They want this state to be livable. And that's what's going to happen when I'm the governor of this state. We're going to elect John Cox as governor, and we're also going to send young Kim to the U.S. Congress. Good job. Good job. And one of the first things that I'm going to do as the governor of this state is we are going to stop throwing money down the train of a train that is behind schedule and over budget, and we're going to take that money and we're going to give it back to the people of this state. We're going to refund every registration fee paid under that gas tax. The people of this state have been taxed enough. They have been paying so much for housing, for gasoline, for food, for electricity that have been driven up by the special interests, by the interest groups that control Gavin Newsom, that control the legislature. We say enough is enough. We want a state that's affordable, and we're going to get it when I'm the governor of this state.
Enough is enough. 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 Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Thank you all for being here, and let's have Young say something here too as well. Thank you all.
Thank you. All right. First, what we're going to do is on Tuesday, we're going to repeal the gas tax by voting yes on 6.
Yes on 6. Yes on 6. Yes on 6.
We need John Cox to be the next governor of state of California. Can you imagine Gavin Newsom being our governor?
No!
All right. Can you imagine Gil Cisneros being your representative?
No!
I don't think so. We're going to repeal the gas tax, elect Young Kim to the 39th Congressional District. We're going to bring some common sense back into governing. We cannot continue to have dysfunction in Sacramento or in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, I served you in Sacramento. I've seen dysfunction personally. We cannot continue that route.
Drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp.
Drain out the barns.
Stop the high-speed rail that's going nowhere. There's no conductor there. If we stop wasteful project like high-speed rail, we have money, ladies and gentlemen, to fix our roads and finish that infrastructure needs. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get out there. 72 hours is really critical. It's all going to come down to few votes. It could be your vote. It could be your vote. So don't sit back and do nothing. If you have an absentee ballot, ladies and gentlemen, turn that in today. It needs to be postmarked by Tuesday to be counted. Tell everyone, your neighbors, your friends, your relatives, tell everybody to get out and vote. That is what is going to make a difference. Right?
Great, absolutely. This election is extremely important for the future of this state. This state has been made unaffordable and unlivable.
Yes.
We've got a school system that is competing with Mississippi for the worst in the nation. We are going to have the #1 school system when I'm the governor of this state.
Everybody! No more vaccines!
We have got to make this state affordable for people. Housing, gasoline, food, it's way too expensive. We're going to change that. The first thing we're going to do is change our government on Tuesday and elect me as governor, and then we'll have a new day in California.
Yay!
Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's good to meet you.
Hey, nice to see you. Hey, man, let's do it. Thanks for being here.
Hi. Patrick, just get as many people here so we can one vote.
Yeah.
Let's make some noise here. John Cox!
Help is on the way! 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 No more on the way!
Hey, you guys, red wave! Red wave!
Red wave! Red wave! Red wave! Red wave! Red wave!
Run by San Francisco. Let's get this done, huh? Yeah.
We need our 55 delegates.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Really, it really warms my heart. Thank you, and keep me in your prayers too. We need you, John. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Thank you.
As the future governor, what do you think about them trying to ban the Bible?
We've got to have our faith. That's the most important thing, and our values. That's it. Absolutely. Good to see you. Thank you. Grab a picture with him.
Just hit the button.
to resolve a problem. Over there is only seasonal cows.
The Salton Sea.
Yeah,
I was out there last week.
But every time we see make all the valley is without job. How can you help us to produce the job over there?
We have got to make sure we have water. We got to make sure we fix that Salton Sea. I was out there for a full day in the Imperial Valley.
The lake is one thing, and then I'm sorry, the lake is one thing. The economic issues is another thing, because we have a lot of people, we have no jobs.
Absolutely, we got to make sure we have water. We got to make sure that we build reservoirs. We got to make sure that we desalinate, because that whole area down there is a coastal desert and it needs water. And we've got to make sure it's maintained.
The governor, you still don't answer my question. How can you help us to increase the job on the valley? How can you bring more businesses on the valley?
Water will help the agriculture, but we're also going to cut regulations and the businesses to stay in California and grow in California. I'm a businessman, sir. And I know. There you go. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need. That's what we need. Gavin Newsom is out of touch with the desert. Yes, Gavin Newsom doesn't give a whit about the desert. I care about that community, and we've got to cut regulations. Gavin Newsom's a liar.
Don't know. You
guys gotta get a lot closer.
Together.
Okay, you have to get a lot closer.
Yeah, I think it's where somebody.
Sure, pardon me. Okay.
Hey, Walter, get in there. I need to hear audio. We're going to get that Salton Sea. We're going to get that valley cleaned up. There we go. Thank you. There we go. Okay, there we go. Thank you. Yes, I do. Our next governor from the Los Angeles. Yes, thank you. Yes, I do. Supporting you, independent. Thank you.
Yes.
What's your name? Julianne.
My wife.
That's your name?
Yes.
That's my daughter's name.
Oh,
I always remember you. That's what I haven't met too many Juliannes. That's wonderful. That's great. I thought that's what you said. And I thought, oh my God, Julianne.
Yeah, we have meetings for Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, I did. That's wonderful.
John, I have a question for you. Is Trump going to come to California?
Probably not. He's got a big schedule for the next few days. Good. Thank you. How are you doing?
This is Robert. He wanted to come see you. My name's Jeff Tate.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. You know what? We need to have more supporting services for people who are intellectually and physically disabled in this state. And let me tell you, God bless you for doing what you're doing. Thank you.
We're counting on you to clear out the rest of the stuff.
We are. You know that we spent $500 million on 3 homes that house 700 intellectually and physically disabled people.
Really?
That money could be spent on so many other services for the intellectually and disabled, but it's being used to run those 3 homes, which with probably a bunch of bureaucrats and a bunch of other people, you know, feeding at the trough. We got to get that money out to be spent to support families like yours. No question about it.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you.
Run California responsibly.
Absolutely. Use our resources responsibly. That's what we have to do.
No more waste for
not waste money. No question.
No more. And then to win it again.
We got to get this thing turned around. Let me back you. It's happening. It's happening.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to do what's going outside.
Good luck there to you, my man.
God bless you. Thank you for being here. All right. Let's end that train to nowhere. Huh?
Yes, let's end that.
We do. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for all your good work in here. Make sure we hit these phones. Thank you all for all this work. Thank you. Oh, we got to bring a whole bunch of business back to California. You were at the aerospace industry? Yeah. It was decimated. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. You know, business has been decimated in this state. We've had so many manufacturers that have moved out because they can't compete.
My job, my job is in Taiwan.
Really?
Now China wants to take Taiwan.
Sure, sure. Do you have a pen? Oh,
Captain.
all right, let's do this.
Believe in you.
Well,
support President Trump.
Well, we need to get the vote out. You know, people have to know that there's a way to get change. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. That's it. Thank you. You need a businessman in Sacramento. Sir. You know, we've got to have jobs and opportunity for people.
Yeah, he's doing an event with Chelsea Handler today. He's doing an event with a bunch of congressional candidates. He doesn't even mention your name when he's out on the stump. Do you think that he's sort of looking past this election?
Well, listen, he made Washington the whole issue in this race. He wants to run for president. I want to fix California. We've got 40 million people here who are really struggling. And, you know, I know what it's like to struggle, and I care about what's happening to this state. People are, you know, spending 40–50% of their incomes on housing. There's nothing left at the end of the month. When I'm the governor of the state, one of the first things I'm going to do is we're going to call a special session, and we're going to come up with a whole lot of ways to fix this housing crisis. We're going to try to streamline the regulations, shorten the approval process, do something about the taxes and impact fees that people are paying. All of these things are driving up the cost of housing. That drives up costs all over the place. I mean, food cost, gasoline, everything that just, you know, keeps making this state unaffordable, and it just can't keep going on like that.
And last question, this is the end. People are deciding. Your closing argument, the last most important thing you want people to know as they head in to make their decision.
This is the status quo versus change. This state is so tough for people. There's so many people that are moving out or thinking about moving out because they can't afford to live here. That's the status quo. I represent change. I'm going to cut the regulations and make sure that people can build truly less costly housing. We're going to get our education system improved. It's now 47th in the nation. We're going to make sure that people have water. We've got water rationing coming in 2022. That is not going to happen on my watch. There's a lot of things that have been run badly by the people of this state. By the people who have been leading this state. We need to have the courage, real courage, is voting for something different, voting for change. That's what I represent. And I think when the people really sit down and decide their vote, they're going to vote for change and not the status quo.
Great. So we're just going to get a quick shot of the two of us talking, and we'll let you be on your way.
Yeah, John! John, I got one question for you. John.
I should make
Okay.
Accountability in Sacramento.
Accountability, you got it.
Okay, so last push, last weekend.
Yes.
What do you want to tell voters who are undecided right now?
You know, this is about change. I represent change. My opponent's the status quo. It's as simple as that. We've got the highest cost of living in the country, the highest poverty rate, the highest rate of homelessness, which he did nothing about when he was the mayor of San Francisco. It's worse than ever. I represent attacking these problems and solving them. That's what I've been doing in the private sector for 40 years as a businessman. Getting results, delivering change. The people of this state cannot live here affordably anymore. Cost of housing is out of touch, out of sight for most people. The cost of gasoline is now $5 a gallon in areas of Los Angeles. The political class in Sacramento is responsible for driving up those costs. I think we need a check and balance on what our legislature's been doing. I represent that check and balance. I represent real change, and we've got so many areas in this state that need change that I think the people will vote for that.
Contrary to what the polls are saying right now, your campaign is saying people will be surprised come Tuesday.
I think they will. I think they will. I mean, the polls are the polls. You know, the only one that counts, as they say, is the one on election day. But you know, I think people, there's an undercurrent. There's really an undercurrent of people who are really disappointed in the leadership of this state. How can you be defending a school system that's 47th in the country? How can you defend 150,000 or so homeless people on our streets that are making life difficult for themselves and for the rest of us as well? How can you defend housing prices that are triple what they are in most parts of the nation? You can't defend that. And a lot of that is caused by the political class, and they have to be held accountable. I represent change. I'm going to work with people on solving these problems, but I'm going to push for the change that we need.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we got to go straight to the bus.
Sir?
We got to go straight to the bus.
I got a question.
So we're out of time. We have to go to the next one.
How can you do with workers'
Well, that's a system that's got to get cleaned up.
Here's the worker comp.
It's the trial
Governor
lawyer.
Brown says California's got to get used to the fires. Just gotta get used to it. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah.
Governor!
We'll
see you on Tuesday in San Diego!
I love Israel.
Help is on the way! 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 Help is on the way!
Go Israel.
Help is on the way!
Help is on the way!
John Cox
Do we
for governor.
We're doing.
John Cox.
All right.
We get another.
Yeah, ABC 7.
We're heading up to Riverside County and Norco and Corona area. We're going to support Bill Asaley, a candidate for the Assembly. But really and truly, what we're going to do is bring our message, and our message is very, very simple. This state has not been run well. It is unaffordable. It is unlivable. We are going to be the change that's going to make this state affordable and livable. We're going to start by repealing the gas tax. We're going to stop the train that's wasting money in the Central Valley, and we're going to take some of that money and we're going to build roads and bridges, but we're also going to rebate a portion of that back to the people and refund their registration fees that they paid under this gas tax. Yeah. We are going to bring true change and accountability to this government, true check and balance, and we're going to make this state affordable and livable. We're going to make our schools number one. We're going to help the homeless get back into productive lives. Yes. And we're going to make sure that people can afford a home, afford gasoline, afford electricity, and
tell me about the reaction of your bus.
Oh, we're getting a great reaction to this bus. I mean, all up and down the highways of this state, we are getting people that honk their horns, give us a thumbs up all across the state. I mean, it is tremendous. And you know, I'll tell you the most important thing. You see that first word? Help. That's what the people of this state are crying out for. They don't want more handouts. What they want is a chance to buy a home. What they want is a chance to have an apartment they can afford. What they want is a chance to be able to fill up their gas tank and not have to worry about whether they're going to be able to buy groceries next week. What they want is the ability to actually take a shower or a bath because there's water available. This is where the political class and Gavin Newsom have failed. I'm done with failure. I want success for the Golden State, and that's what we're going to have on November 6th. Let me tell you. All right.
Single payer means lose your employee health insurance. Remember that.
Make California great again.
Thank you very much.
Tell your friends.
For the next generation, better education. Okay, take shower every day.
John, let's go.
Freedom.
Yes.
Come visit. Thank you.
John.
Thank you very much.
All right. Go.
Hey, high five, John.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta go.
Go.
I gotta go.
Yes, you have to go.
I want to stay here.
You have to go.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Godspeed. All right, guys, let's turn out some votes here. We're ready to go. Let's get these voters to turn in these ballots.
Michael, we're leaving. See you.
Tomorrow.
Folks, get back to work.
Well, it was nice talking to you.
Good luck, you guys.
Oh, they're out there. They're just afraid to come out.
Hi, Jerry. Okay.
The sports stars, they get paid millions of dollars. We'll get paid millions of dollars. But this impacts our nation in such a huge way. Everything's at stake, right? Everything. And in these final days, the only thing that impacts this race above and beyond anything else is turning in these votes. For the last year, year and a half, in some cases beyond, volunteers like yourself have been calling voters in the field and asking them what they care about. Do you care about this issue? How do you feel about that issue? Do you support our candidate? Now we're in the final phase of those people who agreed with us, who support us, who let us know what they're thinking are going to be getting out to vote, right? So we're not in an NFL stadium. We're not getting paid millions of dollars, but you know what? We're walking on the field right now. This is that high stake level of game, okay? The stakes are that high. So while you're here and sometimes the phone's quiet and we're just waiting to get that caller on the line, think about it. Volunteers like you are going to be here all day, every day. You're going to talk to dozens of people by the end of the day. Dozens of yeses, dozens of yeses, dozens of yeses. This adds up. We're in a race. We have this office, we have the office in La Habra, we have the office in Yorba Linda. Our opponents are doing the same thing. We're in a race right now, final 72 hours, to contact those most important people and make sure they turn in their ballots, okay? So just keep in mind when you get someone on the phone, do you support? Absolutely. Do you need to vote? Can I tell you where your polling place is? Do you need to mail in your ballot and make sure they understand, okay? So just thank you guys for all the hard work and effort that we put into this. And as soon as this is ready to roll, we're going to roll. So does anyone want to give it a shot real quick and see if he's back? It's back.
He's back on. Go is back on.
I didn't win this time. I didn't have the, what was the, so I saw you published our relations to meet like young people, part of the family.